Stop. Close. What do I do? I do it? Okay. Stop. Bam. Close. All right, let's see. Hey, that worked too. All right. What up, Yvonne? Hey, what? Jeez, dude, 30 seconds. That was the fastest anyone's ever been here, Elliot. That's the fastest anyone's ever been here. Bam. Nice. What up, Lil Casey? Liz. Ellis Casey? Liz. What up, Yvonne? Yeah, 30 seconds. That's now the wow, that's the fastest anyone's ever been here. Okay, let me get this set up real quick. Here's way too fast for me. I mean, that was good. Wow. Copy. All right, I'm live. Oh, damn it, wrong thing. Bam. How you doing? How's everybody doing? My name is Oliver. Hello, Oliver. How are you, my friend? I found out they launching data centers into space while thermodynamics win. Right, so yeah, there's a very interesting thing about that. Because there's no air in space, they have to find different ways to radiate the heat, right? And then they'll use lasers to do the communications, not at first, because there's issues with how, if you really want to find, like if you shine a laser from outer space through the atmosphere, it gets all blurry. So they have this thing called pre-distortion. They distort the laser before they fire it in the opposite way that the atmosphere will, and so the atmosphere will straighten it out rather than burning it blank. It's going really good. This is hell. Listen, my brother, I'm trying to tell you. There's a lot. Let's see, why is that so blue? Oh, that's too brown. Let's go there. Oops, too blue, too brown. No, dang it. All right, there we go. I think I look too blue. Too blue. I saw you standing. I'm very learned, Oliver. Yes, I've spent my whole life studying. You get smarter outside of school. Remember, it's not school that makes you smart. It's school that teaches you how to learn. And then they have books and stuff to teach you how to learn little things. After you get out of school is when you get your real education. It's not, if you get a license or if you get a degree or diploma, that don't mean you're smart. It means that you learned how to learn the things that they taught you. But everything else you learn after you get out of school is what, that's the trick. So don't be upset if you get your diploma or degree and you're like, wow, I still don't know a whole lot of stuff. That's everybody, because they only teach you a little bit about each thing, right? Yep. Okay. All right, what am I doing? I got to post this. Hold on one second. I'm slow here. Copy. Oh, that's me. Okay, let me pin that. There we go. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. But yeah, pre-distortion, dude, listen, it's also used for just regular radio. It was anything electromagnetic, like light and whatnot. But yeah, I played, as a kid, I played soccer, I played softball, I played baseball, nothing professionally. I played pool, like 8-ball, 9-ball. But mostly no. Mostly I've been more of a brain than the bronze. Don't melt. Why are you melting? Sam, yeah, I had a lot of fun playing soccer. A lot of fun. And then, but yeah, it's a great way. You got it. The trick to having a good mental health is exercise. No matter what, I don't want to hear. You got to get on antidepressants. If something very bad happens in your life, there's a reason for you to be depressed. Then yeah, I can understand that. But if you're just depressed or just for no reason, it's usually exercise or diet. So I used to have ADHD really bad. I still have it, but now it's not a disability anymore. I create lots of content now. I'm all motivated. It's great. Can you wish my sister a happy birthday? Gabriel likes to kiss boys on the lips. He's a boy kisser. He's a boy kisser. All right, there we go. I love the internet. I freaking love it. Okay, let's see. Let's see. What are we looking at? We go Hyam. All right, so I got comedy. Then we'll do comedy. I'm 49, Kurosaki. 49. January 10th, 1977. Let's see here. You can see I got some gray hairs going on right here. Got like 12 of them. Brother, I tell you what. I tell you what I do, and I try to. If you look at my bio, my channel bio, I'm trying to help everybody have energy and youth like me. So I had ADHD, hyperactivity, blah blah blah, fatigue all my life, and all the doctor's visits, all the stuff I never had. They never checked my for vitamin deficiencies. So come to find out, in my 40s, I found out that I was B12 deficient. Started on B12, and it basically like reversed how bad my ADHD was. Like, so I still have thought, but now I have like motivation and stuff. Like I want to wake up in the morning. So yeah, vitamin D, vitamin B12, and like it changed, those two things changed my life. And I was just like, all these years, all these tens of thousands of dollars in doctor's visits and prescriptions and ADHD medication, and not one doctor in 40 years from like age 5 to age 45 ever checked to see if my vitamin B was deficient. B12, yeah. And I'm an income tax baby, Cuban Missile Crisis baby. Gary Carr, member of the Old Farts Club. I get a lot of sunlight. So one of the big things, when I grew up, they taught us the sun was a deadly laser. The sun is a deadly laser. And so we put sunscreen on all the time, and women put makeup on that's got sunscreen in it, so the sun doesn't hit your skin. And then you have all these women, especially, that are depressed all the time because they barely go out in the sun, and when they do, they're wearing sunscreen makeup. That's so the sunlight hitting your skin, your melanocytes, and your skin creates D12, synthesizes D12 in your skin. So yeah, so I'm outside all the time. I have chickens now. I've got gardens and stuff. I just came in from outside right now. But I was in the movie industry for 15 years. So you wake up at 4:30 in the morning before the sun's up. You get your stuff together. You get the sun's barely coming up by the time you go into the studio, and you're there until 6 p.m. And then you drive home and the sun's going down. So I did that for 15 years. So like no sunlight, no nothing. But still, a doctor should have checked but then I guess that's my fault. I just figured that they knew what was going on. But they just want to check for things that they can fix with prescriptions rather than with vitamins and minerals. Come to find out, that's the most important thing. Thank you, diplomat. Who came first, the chicken or the rooster? Try CPR, cupcake. CPR? CPR? Do you got some, yeah, dude. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's a good song. Gotcha. Best song out there. Okay. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm too old. Man, you got to be the most energetic 49-year-old. Listen. I want to tell you, absolutely, it's unbelievable the difference that you'll get. Look, and I'll show you. Let me just show you guys this real quick. What up, Mirza? Let's see. I'm from Maryland originally, but I'm in Georgia now in the United States. Okay. Vitamin B12 deficiency and fatigue. All right, let me zoom this in. Look how they word it. Vitamin B12 deficiency, common causes profound fatigue, weakness, and low energy. The nutrient is essential. And if you look to see how much you're supposed to take, like what the government around the world tell you what you're supposed to take, they say 2.4 millionths of a gram, 2.4 micrograms. I take 5,000 micrograms. Okay. So, and look at this. Look. So okay. So it's required for red blood cells to carry oxygen. Obviously, that's a big thing. So deficiency could cause chronic tiredness, lightheadedness, shortness of breath, treatable through supplements. All right. Now, if you look at this, ADHD and vitamin B12 deficiency and ADHD. Yes, research indicates a link between vitamin B12 deficiency and ADHD. Studies show that children, adolescents with ADHD often have lower B12. So if you have ADHD, they should test you for B12 because people that do, almost like 90% of people that are tested, adults and children, have low B12. If they have ADHD, they have low B12. Okay, deficiencies contribute to hyperactivity, impulsivity, and reduced cognitive performance. So that's when you have all that stuff, they say you've got ADHD and they put you on pills for ADHD instead of saying, oh, you could also be B12 deficient. So let's give you some B12 and see what happens. And then if you still have it, then let's give you some ADHD stuff. Completely changed my life. So it went from me wanting to work for people my whole life to me being like, okay, wow, I've got all this energy now. Let's start a company. Let's start telling the world how they can feel better. Like I take creatine, I take vitamin B12, vitamin D3, and collagen, and like those are the main things. And like I'm 49, my hair's barely graying. I got a little bit of gray in the front, but it's all like I've never dyed my hair once, and like I got like nice nails and stuff. You don't like thermodynamics? I'm not a doctor. Nope. I'm self-taught. Who's your dealer? Where do you get it? Hey, brother, listen, 110thgrade.com. I got my website set up to go to the Amazon for the exact stuff I get. If you go to 110thgrade.com. 110thgrade.com. And this is my website. I'm creative. What can I say? All right, and then I've got, and then at the top, you see it says vitamins right here. Click on vitamins, and this is everything that I take right here. I'll shrink it down. So for well-being, this is what I take for vitamin C and bromelain, the creatine I take, the vitamin K I take, the collagen I take, the D and the B12, and this all takes you to Amazon. I make like 25 cents off of it if you get it. So I'm not marking it up. If you click on one, all right, it just says buy from Amazon. So you guys can get that and whatever. I get a quarter. You can buy it off my link. I would appreciate it if you do because I get a quarter for it. What up, Shoroyas? Shoroyas. What's all the hype about D3 with K2? So this is how the body works with calcium, okay? You eat stuff, drink milk, whatever, that's got calcium in it, okay? The calcium goes through your stomach, into your intestines and whatnot. But it's got to get out of your intestines and get into your bloodstream. So vitamin D3 gets it out of your intestines and into your bloodstream. But now you've got calcium in your blood. So now you need to get it out of your bloodstream and into your tissues and your brain, your tissues, your bones and whatnot. K2 gets it out of your bloodstream and puts it into your bones and your tissues. So you need these things. And so I take them separately because all of the D that has K2 in it, they have way too little K2 for the amount of D that's in them. So I take everything separately so I can tune it myself. I got calcium deficiency and I finally got some calcium. I'm now strong. See, right. You're blessed that someone checked you for a calcium deficiency. Usually they would just give you a bunch of pharmaceuticals that would either take calcium from your bones and put it back into your blood or turn something else. And that's what a lot of pharmaceuticals do. So you might be low in a vitamin or a nutrient, and then they give you a pharmaceutical that takes it somewhere else out of somewhere else of your body to put it somewhere else in your body rather than just having more of what you need. So, and all the vitamins and minerals have that stuff. It's got to go from your mouth to your bloodstream, then your bloodstream into your body. How the answer is just one. I only had when I went to college. I only went to college for a semester. I dropped out after I failed Algebra 1 in college, and I said, forget this. Brother, this is all Amazon. Brother. Like it's not, I don't have any. I don't like. If you click on the link, it just goes right to Amazon.com. Just because I talk about this stuff so much and people ask all the time, and if I can get a quarter, whatever. But this is huge. Most of us are vitamin D deficient. Most of us are vitamin B12 deficient. just because like if you drink water that's out of the tap, it contains chlorine, or used to contain chlorine. Now, well, in the past 20 years, they started adding something called chloramide, which is chlorine will evaporate out of the water after a little bit. Chloramide doesn't. So when you drink that, that can sanitize your insides, and the bacteria in your intestines that would help make the things that bring it through from your gut and put it into your bloodstream. Those are destroyed. So you need all this stuff. My father figured out. Your father figured it out. Right. And that's the big problem. Doctors, like think about depression, right? A lot of people get depressed because they're low in a lot of people that are depressed are vitamin deficient, but they aren't checked. So like vitamin B12 and D3 helps make serotonin, but instead of making more serotonin, a doctor will give you a serotonin reuptake inhibitor, which means it leave the serotonin that's in your brain will stay there longer. Why not help the body make more itself so it doesn't need to stay there longer? It just produces more. And that's the kind of stuff. Then they'll give you one, and then whatever, like 6 weeks later, it does. You're like, it doesn't work. Then they'll give you another. Then they'll get two on top of each other. Here's one, and here's a booster. And they never check your blood to see if you're just not getting it from your diet. What happens if and when you go to jail and they won't give you your K and B? I know don't go to jail. You ain't stealing time, brother. Who's stealing time? What up, Neo, brother? God loves you, crazy. Thank you, Topher, brother. But the interesting thing is, like, a lot of people talk about America and they say you don't have health insurance. You shouldn't need it. You shouldn't need health insurance. You shouldn't have to go to the doctor. Most of the reasons most people go to the doctor, like they call it all cause. Like if you have proper levels of like vitamin C, K, D, well the main ones like A, B, E, and zinc, like that's what you really need. You can get most stuff from your diet unless your guts are worked out. Thanks for that information you shared. Okay, no problem, brother. No problem. To hail to oil to Allah. So this stuff. If you have any problems, what you should look up, you need to help yourself first. If you feel like you need to go to the doctor and it's an emergency, then go to the doctor. But if you're like, man, in the next couple of weeks, I need to make an appointment to talk about whatever. What you should do is you should Google which vitamin deficiencies cause whatever problem you're having. So like if you say which vitamin deficiencies cause fatigue, cause tiredness. Okay. It says, okay. And it says right there, B12, D, and iron. So they're very inexpensive. They're very inexpensive to get that. So you can try eating more foods with that in it. But a lot of the food we get is picked before it's ripe. And then it's artificially ripened when it's at the grocery store. So it doesn't get all the nutrients out of the ground when it should. I grow a lot of my own food. I've got my own chickens, so my food does a lot better for me than people that go buy it from the grocery store. It's very easy to say, like, what's going on in your body. Just because you mentioned white hair, I'm a 15-year-old and many of my friends have more white hair than you. Jeez, dude. Jeez. That's not healthy. People thought that the first result was AI slap. Oh, yeah, well, so I know this, I've studied, I know this, right, already. So if it said something different, like if it said, oh, nothing, just go to your doctor and get on Adderall, I would know that it's an advertisement, but I already know this. So what we would do, if it said something that I disagree with, I would go down and look at the studies and whatnot, and I would show you. This is stuff I've studied for 20 years, and especially a lot with myself, like got off everything. Like even my parents are in their 70s, and my parents are off all of their pharmaceuticals. They get blood tests 4 times a year, as do I. So we check all of the levels that we need to make sure that everything's going good. But they're off of everything, and they're in their 70s, and they work out in the yard. They're building. My mom does gardening, digging ditches, pulling trees out of the ground and stuff. It's unbelievable how unhealthy we actually are. It's unbelievable because our food sucks. Our food as it sucks really, really bad. Yeah, right. This is obviously AI. If God was evil, could you know it? If God was evil, could you know it? Veritas, you gotta get to the point to understand even what's going on. If God, there is a God of evil. There is a God of evil. You just gotta learn. Keep going, brother. You'll get there. I promise. I promise, Veritas. You'll get there. Just keep learning. All these questions have been answered. There is a God of evil, the God below. Absolutely. You'll get there. You're trying so hard to disprove because you want to argue rather than wanting to know. As soon as you change the mindset from going to I want to argue to I want to know, a lot of doors open up. If the Christian God is evil, could you know it? Are you stupid? What if there was no God of good, but only God of evil? If there was only God of evil, then there wouldn't be no God, right? If there was only a God of evil, you wouldn't know that they were evil because you have to be able to see the difference. That you have to be able to compare it. You wouldn't know what evil was if there was no good. If there's no good, you don't know what that is. That's just normal. You understand? You have to be able to relate. Which one of the creepiest actors of Hollywood? There's a lot of them. You're right. And gods of evil are Satan and Lucifer, right? What is this guy? What is this guy saying? Am I right? Right? What standards or evidence would we expect to see would show an evil God? An evil God is a God that pushes towards destruction. Have you asked this question? Have you asked this question before you asked me? Have you looked for any answers to this before you asked me this? Is it safe to take creatine? Yeah. Creatine is what creatine is in. If you're not eating a lot of red meat and whatnot, then you're not getting enough creatine. Typically, you can get urine tests for creatine also to see what your levels are. But yeah, creatine, like age restrictions for creatine levels. Okay, so let's see what the creatine usage among young adults, athletes. Okay, creatine is a nutritional supplement. Was purported to be safe in aiding adults. 28% of colleagues think that taking creatine. 28 college athletes admit to taking creatine. There's little information about this is 2001. Sorry, this was from 2001. So it is one of the most studied. Let's say creatine was reported in every grade from 6 to 12. 40% of 12A report creatine. It's more common among boys than girls. Although creatine was taken by participants in every sport, use was significantly more common among football. Despite current recommendations against use in adolescents less than 18, creatine is being used by middle school and high school athletes at all levels until the safety of creatine can be. So this was in 2001. They were questioning this. This is why we have to learn how to learn. Like we have to look at the studies, when the studies were done, and what the results of the studies were, and then look at competing studies, just like Veritas here. Yeah, yes, that's exactly right. Like drowning but only the evil. You listen, brother, you're trying hard. I recommend you looking up the answers to these. Yeah, you're going to have big problems, Kurosaki. You're going to have big problems with that. There's almost no creatine. I mean, creatine only is, let me see if we can find vegetable sources for creatine. Vegetable sources for creatine. It's the Antichrist that are the evil, right? Like ending 70,000 lives for someone else's crime, is that not evil? Why do we give God a pass when if a human? Because God's not human, dude. You. How old are you, Veritas? Honestly, I have to know how to react to you because if you're 40, you're dumb. And I'll try to help you. If you're a teenager, then I understand where you're at because I can't expect you to know these things. I am not even Christian. I don't know why I'm arguing here. It's all right, brother. It's all right. I used to like ChatGPT and it's denying. Right. So ChatGPT is horrible to use because it wants you to like it. It's that friend. It's that yes man. Yes, whatever you want. Yes, let me tell you how great you are and how healthy you are. Oh, you're peeing blood. That means that you're cool. It's absolutely nuts. Crime belong away as David was instigated to do by the sentence of God, and God gets mad and punishes everyone else but King David. Okay? But then what happened? I smoke marijuana every single day. Other than coughing, I love it. Should I stop? Listen, if the cyanides in the smoke are what most people smoke all the time because they feel worse when they don't do it. And if you look up vitamin and mineral absorption and marijuana use, that's typically why people keep using it. When you stop, you're just like, oh, you don't have the building blocks in your body to build the dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine and stuff like that makes you feel good normally. Because and one of the reasons that's attributed to munchies is because it's canceling out a lot of your vitamins and nutrients from your diet. Your body is telling you, I need more. I don't have enough nourishment. I need more. I'm not, brother, this isn't a stream for you. You're not going to take, I'm trying to help people here. You're trying to hurt people. I'm not interested in helping you. How's it going? I haven't stopped by for a while. What's up, Shudo? I ain't seen you in a while, brother. Thank you, my friend. It's my birthday. My son gave me a childhood dream. He gave me a metal detector. My kid heard me. The biggest gift I just wanted to share it. Hey, man, thanks, Mama. That's freaking awesome. It's awesome when kids listen to their parents, like what their parents want, and can do something for them. How could you possibly use your human standards of good and evil to determine if God is good or not? How could you use your inhuman versions to understand? It's not hard. Listen, if you have a problem with the biblical teachings, come up with your own. Why don't you try to do that on your own? You're being misguided. God is God, and it's a soul of God of everything. Right. Who are you to say what's good and evil? You don't believe in it. You believe that people can determine what's good and evil. You don't know what you're talking about. So it's safe to say, yes, it's safe to, yes. Listen, unless you have issues, like if you're going to the doctor regularly and whatnot, So let's see. Let's see for 15-year-olds, by our human standards, as God does many evil things. That's right. Are you listening to yourself? Your human standards. You don't know what you're talking about. God is God. Right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if humans said something about it. That doesn't matter. The point is, the first thing you got to do is figure out that we were created. Figure it out scientifically. First do that, then worry about all this stuff. You're trying so hard not to believe. Don't worry about the Christian God. Don't worry about any of that. You need to get back to the science and let it lead you. Does it not help people to teach them to think critically? Brother, you don't. You're not. In the gym stuff. Yeah, join gym. He's 15, he said. I don't believe the God of the Bible. Okay, good. Thanks for sharing. I'm going to turn 16 April 23rd. What about Dr. Evil? Who created him? Hollywood. I'm 19, just starting to join a gym. You'll feel much, much better, Sonu. If God is real, I think it's pretty good of him to give us consciousness to make the world better. Right. That's free will, right? So if you can't use your human standards, then you have absolutely no idea your God is good or not. Do you know what history is, Veritas? Look it up. Neo's Muslim. How are you doing, Neo? Welcome to the family, brother. What's up, Pancake? Bad news again? Damn, buddy. Listen. If you need to join a gym because you can't work out on your own or you haven't set something up, then it's good to get you into the groove to learn, especially if you want to change your body shape and style. If you want it for energy and health reasons, it's good to do. But remember, you can do all this on your own. But if you've got the money, join a gym and then work with people there that are knowledgeable and get yourself what you need. But remember, you have to put into you what your body requires for muscle growth and whatnot. If you're a vegetarian, I'm going to tell you a lot. I'm going to tell you something right now. Watch out for the vegetarian gainers on the internet. A lot of them lie about being vegan or vegetarian because they're just using it as a marketing ploy to get clicks and views. It's very hard. You'll find some honest ones, but you have to make sure your chemistry is correct. You have to make sure you need protein. So you've got to find a good source of protein. The problem with vegetarian sources of protein, especially in America, is they come along with sprays and whatnot that to make sure the animals don't eat the protein while it's on the ground. So they spray the hell out of it to get rid of all of the bugs and little wackadoos that eat it. I have 8 cats and now Rascal died last night. I'm sorry to hear that. 60, jeez, dude, I can do like 14. It was pretty good of him to give you a choice of believing without sufficient evidence. Hey, have you looked for the evidence, Veritas? You haven't at all. You haven't at all. Tell me one piece of evidence that you found. Tell me that one, or one that you've heard of that you just don't believe. Veritas, he doesn't know. He just wants to hurt people. He doesn't care. He hasn't looked up, do people live better lives that follow religions or not? He didn't look that up. And if he did, he would find out that people end up having better results in life, believing and following a structured life. And the way to do that, regardless if you believe in God or not, is to follow a historical structure. A lot of people use Bible or Quran or whatnot. He doesn't care. He wants to hurt feelings. Must be balanced, religion and science. Right, yeah. I don't drum. I sang. Human history. What are the oldest history books you can get your hands on, Veritas? I'm agnostic atheist, but if God is right, I appreciate life. It's gifted to me. Right. Yes, they are. What are you talking about, dude? Which science? Chemistry? Oh, dude, Veritas, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm an athlete type person. I work out. So what can I say? Existence could be a lot worse. I'm just thankful. Yeah. You should be thankful. He's ungrateful. He doesn't want to have to thank anybody. He just wants to go around hurting people. I think Veritas is messing with you. Yeah, I think he is too. He's got to be a troll. There's nobody that's that dumb. I do calisthenics on a good level and play football. Damn, you're inspiring at that age. Thank you, my friend. I know you're not talking to me. They are compatible. Yes, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, look, let's do this. Is science and religion compatible? And so Veritas, I already showed you this, are viewed as compatible. Science explains how the physical world functions and religion addresses the why. So science shows you how and religion shows why. You haven't looked any of this up. There's no verified. Yes, there are. Yes, there are. Okay, this is the last thing, and then I'm going to ban you. I'm going to show you that you're wrong because I know you're just being a troll. Now, nobody's this stupid. Scientific proof of any biblical miracle. Okay. All right. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. Okay, so you don't know what you're talking about. Go look at it, brother. All right. Yeah, okay, I'm going to let everybody else do this while we're talking to him. Science relies on faith. Absolutely, science relies on faith. You do not know what you're talking about. You believe that the scientists that do this work are not lying to you, right? You believe, absolutely. You require faith. You don't know what you're talking about. All right, he's gone. What are you talking about, dude? Here, okay, let's find some more. Scientific proof for biblical miracles. All right, let's find one, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna show you something very interesting here. Okay, ready? Okay, so science is repeatable. History is not. So it's a category error. But here you go. Archaeological evidence like the Pool of Siloam, first century Roman inscriptions authenticate historical and geographic settings. Historians use the multiple assertion stories as proof, as plausibility. Okay? Science is repeatable. You can't repeat history. You just don't know what you're talking about. You're not smart enough yet. You'll get there, Veritas. Yes, it does. All right, I'm done with him. Okay, let's see. All right. Bro, got me on the creatine and B12. It's been very helpful for the energy. Let me put you on this stuff. Anabolic steroids. To get you jack is all you get. Christian needs follow Christ. Follow him. Right. Absolutely. I don't go to church. Right. If you read Christ's teachings and you say, regardless if you believe there's a God or not, if you read Christ's teachings, you live a better life. If you follow them, you lead a better life than if you don't. These guys talk about some science and history stuff. We're talking about, yeah. I'm sorry. I let him interrupt me. I apologize. Yes, it does. Jesus is king. The rapture is coming. That's right. All the others believe the lies of UFO. Right. It was some vitamin stuff before it suddenly switched on to these things. Science isn't real. Never seen science. Right, you've read it. What's up, Yogi brother? Kurosaki is surely not your real name. What is your real name? Right, he can't prove it. Right, he doesn't know how much faith he has. Faith, in fact, for us, God has supernatural experiences. God communicating with us. Dude, calm down. Okay, Moses had medical knowledge over 4,000 years ago, discovered man by 1900s. Madhav, how are you, my brother? I remember the miracle of Prophet Muhammad when the moon cracked the truth. Is it true? Doesn't look like it. There's a split on the moon. So if you read the Hadiths, Neo, it's nice to meet you, dude. So the thing about splitting the moon, if you look at the moon, there's a fracture on the moon. So it looks like it's a translation error, but we don't know that for sure, right? Islam is a false. There you go. Wrong. Yesterday I drank too much, and today I'm drinking too much. History can't repeat itself. You don't know. Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you do, Veritas. Have you looked for proof that Jesus existed outside of the Bible? No, you haven't. Hey, what up, low UFO? Hello down there. Okay, I'm like 4-year-old, so no matter push-ups you can do. Vitamin K levels peak on the 8th day. God told Moses to circumcise the children on the 8th day so they would not bleed out and die. If I was so sure you can't pronounce my name. Did I do it? All right, you're just being hateful. He's just being hateful. What a nut job. Dude, one of the big things that we know from history, from Rome, like outside of biblical knowledge, is that Jesus existed. Like we've got it's called extra biblical, outside of the Bible. Okay, moon is a moon. Now listen, he's just hateful. I think he's the problem with people that name themselves things like Veritas is that means truth, right? And he was told that Bible, that science and religion don't that they contradict. So he wants to be a scientist, but he can't even use the scientific method to try to see what's true and false in history. He just doesn't know what he's talking about. If you're going to sin, make sure you are sinning with Mickey's malt liquor, dude. I don't remember that stuff. Shoot the moon. Are you disproving Islam, or what do you mean about the live above? What? Me? Veritas hates you, right? Yes, Jesus exists. Right. This is a problem. The problem with people that don't understand anything. When children learn about science and they say, "Oh, they don't learn that we know it because it's repeatable and we constantly expand upon it." So if somebody that says they're a scientist tells somebody that God doesn't exist or whatever, they just believe it. He had faith in a human. He had faith in a human telling him that God doesn't exist. Scientists, actual scientists, would never say that God doesn't exist because they know that scientifically they can't prove it. You can never prove it, or it hasn't been proven. So they would say we're still looking, or that's not the scientific study. I'm not. That's not on my path to look for. I'm looking for how this was done or that was done. Right. All right, we have more evidence. Yes, right. And we have more evidence that Jesus existed. There's more writings about Jesus than there was about the Roman emperors at the time. Science and religion. Right, absolutely. He's just being hateful. Shut up, Yogi. That's how we recognize Jesus. Right, Isa. Yeah. Yeah. Demons implant themselves into your psyche. Next thing you know, you don't believe in Jesus anymore. Right. How, like, listen, even when I was an atheist, like, I knew Jesus existed. It's like I was caught up in the same trap he is. He lays eggs. That's how it works. It's okay to eat your own egg. It's all right, chances, if you like it. I read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I know Harry Potter's a chosen one. He'll save us from the evil book. Yes, sir. Yes, I've studied my world's religions. Science is ever dynamic. How can we use this? And this is the problem that's going on now especially with internet and with everybody being allowed to go to school is there's scientists, there's research scientists, there's science explainers, science teachers, and professors. So the people that are actually doing the science to write the new curriculums, they're the ones that know what they did. The rest of them try to figure out how to explain the answer in the study, but they make stuff up because they want to make a YouTube video or they want to go on the news. So they want to be like, look, we figured out there's no God, and we made life in a lab. We've never made life in a lab. We never even got close to making life. Some people lie and they say we're close to making life because they're close to making a sugar or whatever. But yeah, they're not even close. And that's the problem is if you ask Neil deGrasse Tyson, he'll tell you, yeah, we made life in the lab. But then look at the study and it's just like, no, not even close. If someone feels the need to disprove God just to be part of something, please invade Santa Claus realm. They're just right. It's self-doubt. He realizes he's been lied to and he made a fool out of himself, so he wants to try to make a fool out of other people. At least Muslims discovered the camera as Al Qamariya. Am I right? I don't know. That I don't know. They turned science into a religion of blind one. Right. It's so crazy. So there's even they don't call it the Church of Atheism, but they have doctrine. They have the atheist doctrine, which means they can now be. Now, why would they do that? So if you don't believe in God and you want tax benefits, you can start a religious movement like atheism, and you can get you get tax exemptions. But people think this stuff is true. It's not. Even after the rapture, even after tribulation, there still won't be someone. Right? Yeah. They're blinded. Do you know in Revelation the witness is pricked to the TV broadcasting the internet? Brother, listen. The interesting thing about religious texts is how they were written so long ago, and if the metaphor used can fit in a lot of ways. Science changing is cool and all, but I'll never explain Jesus, the internal soul. Right. There's one thing. One of the biggest quandaries in science is what is a thought. They have no idea what a thought is. They don't know what chemicals it is. It doesn't seem to be any, because you can sit here like our body has. You can say, okay, scan the body. It's this much sodium, this much calcium, whatever. And then you have a thought. There's no more new chemicals coming in. And that thought makes a memory. They don't know what any of that is. They don't know if it's electrical. They don't know if it's chemical. Why does it happen when you're asleep? Why does it happen in some people when they're brain dead? So a lot of times when they do brain surgery, they get people down to a very, very cold temperature, and they stop the blood flow to the brain so it doesn't bleed when they're cutting it out, but the brain doesn't rot because it's very cold. And then people will say what happened like during that time. I'm talking about credible. I'm not talking about people on the internet saying, oh my God, I was shot in a gang fight and freaking Jesus did a backflip and told me how I was freaking going, like people that have been like, I like the song you played 3 hours into a 12-hour surgery. And they're like, how'd you know that? And there's been thousands and thousands of actual credible near death experiences, which is neat. And I always thought It was fake. I always thought these were just dreams. Like as you were waking up, those thoughts happened. But how would somebody know what song was playing 3 hours into an 8 hour surgery when they had no blood in their brain? So it's not chemical. It's got to be a field. It's got to be like what the Higgs field is. The Higgs boson is the field that gives things mass. The reason things weigh something, and that's interesting stuff. Atheist is not a religion. You guys are the death call. Atheist, listen. Yes, it is, city boy. The problem is if you're an atheist, you're not a scientist at all. Because a scientist needs repeatability. So you'd have to be agnostic because you haven't had the evidence yet. No evidence, but anything else you say, like prove God doesn't exist, and you're like, give me enough money and I will. Give me enough money and enough time and I'll prove that God doesn't exist. So you have faith that you'll find that out, and they don't even understand it. Yeah. What up, Shiro? We are very limited knowledge. Once eternity, God can tell us something new about himself every day. We can't comprehend it. Right? Rat poison Kool-Aid. I enjoy the flavor. The Abrahamic religion is created for world domination planned by the Jewish tribe. And you read all three. If you had read all three of the religious scriptures, then you will come to find out. It's hilarious. No, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, okay, the Earth is 4.5 billion years old, not 6,000. Prove it. First of all, city boy, prove it. Which theory are you using for 4.5 billion years? You don't even know. No, my guy, just no. Rocks. No, you don't know what you're talking about. And I showed you this before. Why we have problems with aging rocks. I showed you this before. Okay. So the problem we have with aging rocks because Earth's dynamic geology, plate tectonics, erosion, radiometric dating struggles. So a big thing here is diamonds should have 0 carbon-14 in them, and we find it in there. So they say diamonds are millions of years old, but that was marketing in order to make diamonds appear to be more valuable. And this got mixed in with the education. So you don't know what you... No, they don't, you idiot. Jeez, people are so dumb. Yeah, right. Carbon dating only goes back 80,000 years. 80,000 years. You don't know what you're talking about. Jeez. You would get there if you weren't so hard-headed. How far back can carbon-14 dating go? 50 to 60,000 years. They only said humans have been on Earth that long. You don't even know your religion, dude. Jeez. All right, sorry. Hold on one second. All right, let me see here. And he's never looked that up before. It's so crazy. Right, and then look up why coal has carbon-14 in it and why diamond has carbon-14 in it. You don't even know what you're talking about. Humans have been on here millions of years. Now you have no idea. You see, and here's a problem. You're mixing history, make-believe, and science all together to make it good for the internet. You've got no clue how long. Listen, did you know you can make a fossil in 24 hours? So all this new science that comes out is disproving your old science. You don't even know the new science. How quickly can a fossil be formed? Fossils can form rapidly with petrification under mechanical replacement as little as a few weeks or months under optimal conditions. So this new science came out that you don't even know, scientist. You don't even know what you're talking about with science, let alone religion. I'm 49. Seems like Matt, I've got a laptop. Yeah, my apologies. Probably from all the argumentation. I'm out of here. I don't want to deal with humans anymore. We have proof. No, you don't. You don't have proof. You're a moron. He has patents and whatnot. And geniuses believe. Bro, look, I really want to talk, bro. I need the official MJ. Brother, we don't know. Listen, I've studied into that a whole lot, Gersher. We don't know. It's just people saying stuff. The people that were on Michael Jackson's side said he didn't, and the people that weren't on his side say he did. But there's no evidence. The one court case that they had showed that they took him wrong. Oh, it's everybody. It seems like everybody has a problem with their timelines. Yeah, dude. Everybody. Listen, this is the thing. So you can't prove it, and people are trying to use old science, which has been disproven by the new science. So he's using the old science to prove something wrong, but the science he's using has been proved wrong. So it's like, what up, Carthakian? We're talking about age. City boy is a typical unguided liberal. Right, what's wrong with people? Okay, this is not an argument. Literally making my argument. You see, really serious. I am younger than Earth. You are. You do know. Bible never mentions 6,000 years. Right. Yes, it never does. Right. It never mentions 6,000 years. So he doesn't even know what he's talking about. You're the one that's coping. You made that up. I'm having a problem with running out of B12. You definitely are. I just proved it. Look, you don't know what you're talking about. And like we found new fossils, new dinosaur fossils that stink. They're not. We don't know. We don't know, and you don't know. You should try reading it. It's the most solid book of all time. Yeah, I've read it. It's the chronological breakdown to everyone's ages, you idiot. You think so? You think so? You think so? If Adam and Eve were made, hold on. If Adam and Eve were the first two people on Earth, how many years would it take to populate it to this point? Based on exponential growth, it would take roughly 500 to 1,000 years for two people to populate the Earth to billions, with high fertility rates, more moderate growth rate over 6,000 years. And this is where they get the 6,000 year number from, not out from the Bible. It could reach more current numbers. So he doesn't even know what he's talking about. Is the opium for the, yeah, that's old. It depends what religion you're talking about too. I know more in the Bible than you do. People seem to forget that God knows us, you know. Oh, hell, science. If you believe in God, you're insane. That's how it works. Judgment Day is stupid. Just stop. Thomas may make controversy. Right, yeah, he doesn't have no idea. He has no idea what he's talking about. Every single one of his... And the thing is, the science that you read is science from like the 60s and 70s to the school books that you learned in school. And so you're not even using modern science, freaking wackadoo. It's from the Bible, ages of people and stuff. No, it's not. It doesn't say that. It absolutely doesn't. It does not say that in the Bible. It doesn't say 6,000 years ago. And it only says when Adam and Eve were here. And if you go by Genesis, it says that's when it started. But the Bible doesn't say the Bible doesn't say that there's the time between creation and when Adam and Eve were here. And when it uses the word day in Hebrew, it doesn't mean necessarily the day. It means in a morning, and the 3-day resurrection thing. Look up that. It doesn't mean like 72 hours. It means 3 days, meaning 2 nights. So it could be the last hour of the first day. You just don't know what you're talking about. This argument is older and stuff, more authentic than made up. Sound really stupid. Yeah, it sounds rough. It's from centuries. Yes, I am. All right, I'm done with him. Okay, all scientists have come to the conclusion that the way the universe exists is to be created by some higher being. Right. He hasn't even looked into that. He's using such old school stuff, and he doesn't realize how biased his algorithm is. Okay, all right, let's see. Estimation. You just use the word estimation, scientist. Jeez. Breathe, eat, sleep, keep busy, enjoy life. Yeah, I'm down with you, Huss, brother. How you doing, my brother? Right. But when was the Julian calendar invented, city boy? You have no idea. You trust dinosaur fossils? They couldn't be dinosaur fossils. They could be dragon fossils. Right. He has no idea. He has no idea. Everything that was made up before, the storytelling has all come out. No one knows. No one can prove it. Science is repeatable, so it can't use history because history is not repeatable. So science can't say that we came from a germ. That's no idea. They don't have the germ that we came from. We have no idea. And he just wants to be a jerk. When we roam to God and pray to God. Now, yeah, that's what I told him to do. Congrats, you can live longer and people live long ago. Adam was the what? So they think Adam was an atom. Dragons never existed. Oh yeah? Okay. Dragons never existed? Komodo dragon. Then what's this, dork? Dragons never existed. Dragons never existed. Just because you think dragons are storybook dragons. What's going on, Jeremy? I'm a dragon. I'm 5 minutes into this live and I'm loving it already. Science isn't consistent, moron. That's the thing about it. It's constantly replacing itself. Notice he can't prove God doesn't exist. Right, he's so dumb. Satan is known as dragon in the Bible. Dragon D's nuts. Which conspiracy theory do you think everyone should be? That's a good question, Dylan. It's not consistent. Archangel Michael took on the dragon himself. Billions of people died because of the flood. Only 6 were saved, but a lot more time. And you know what? If you really want to, look into the scientific evidence for the flood, like the Cambrian explosion. The reason almost everything just went from 0 fossils to a layer of a whole bunch of fossils, almost like the world was flooded. And if you didn't even read the Bible and you tried to come up with how it happened with science, you can do it. An asteroid that hit the Yucatan could have flooded the Earth. There could have been the thing that created that big gash, the Mariana Trench. If that would have been closed, all the water that's in that trench would have pushed up above the land. So when the Mariana Trench opened, it could have made the room for the water to recede. Literally no proof for the flood. The ceiling and the floor are kissing. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. I'm not even Jewish. He really doesn't know what he's talking about. Zero scientists say that. Okay, let's see. How many scientists have evidence of the Great Flood? There you go, you frickin' moron. Jeez, he's stupid. Jeez. Oh, what a frickin' moron. Oh, jeez. Look, I try my best to give people grace, but when you try to say you're that intelligent and you're not, science, yeah, he doesn't even know what science is. What up, Shrimp? No, screw that entirely. Science, history, or whatever. We only know what they allow us to know. Right. And the more you learn what propaganda is, but see how absolutely stunned, like, yeah. And the problem is, it's easy to convince a fool of something, but it's hard to convince a fool that they've been fooled. Scientists can't agree on what a man or a woman is. Right. Jeez. Right, dude. He's all right. Don't act like Da Vinci was a criminal robbing graves. No, to do actual science. I'll be listening to Bill Nye, the science guy. Top of the Himalayas have fossils of sea creatures. Right. There's fossils of sea creatures in the Middle East. There's all kinds of science. There's all kinds, but he had to bust out a Jew. I'm not Jewish, but that proves he's just trying to be hateful. So big problem in other religious communities when they become atheistic because they've been hurt. Church hurt is what they call it. Then they lash out because science establishments were whack and retarded. Right? Yeah, absolutely. If science could invent a vaccine for common sense, Bill Nye changed his idea of what a woman is in 20 years. Right. No, these are science explainers. They're there to make money. They're there to sell merchandise. And people don't understand it. I worked in the movie industry for 15 years, and I did this. I helped this happen. I helped kids like him get to that point. And so that's why I try to give them grace. But when it gets so obvious, I can only show people so much. Bible says not to argue with fools. Right, but we're also supposed to try to guide people in the right directions. Love thy enemy. Greeting. What up, squirrel? It's Richard. The Sphinx exhibits the deep fissures and undulating surfaces attributed to water. erosion. Right, right. It goes on and on and on and on and on. If you want to listen to the scientists who tell you exactly, and this is the only reason scientists are saying this is because they're being paid. The average man and woman in America spends $20,000 in a lifetime on medical care. The average trans spends 1.7 million. The more people that you can confuse into thinking they're trans, the more money you will make. Listen, we know that roid rage, steroid rage is a thing, and we're giving these little kids and these teenagers and young adults steroids, and now they're raging. They're having roid rage, and we're saying it's just emotional because they've been oppressed. It's shit. They want to have reasons to keep taking money from these kids. Science has a vaccine for common sense. It's called Darwinism. Never argue with fools. Onlookers may not know the difference. And there's a prophecy in Islam where a prophet says the end time will come when Arabia becomes green again. Dude, listen. I listen. Even when I was an atheist, I was an absolute atheist, and I learned myself to the point where I was like, okay, now I think we're a simulation. And then I had to start looking into evidence for being a simulation, and it moved me further to the point where I'm like, okay, this is a video game, something's going on here. And then it just took me a couple years, but I had to like, I believed the science. It went out of control. COVID was a big thing too, seeing how they said trust the science, not trust science. That's odd. They're saying don't trust scientific method, just trust the science that we gave you. Not trust science, but trust the science. That one word is what threw me through a loop. I was like, what are you talking about? That's not science. Science is gold and duct tape is silver. Charles Fort, my favorite forensic auditor. Charles Fort, his work, particularly the Book of the Damned, 1919, focused on excluded data. 74 to 32 was a foundational figure in the systemic collection class data that Chavez, and it's very interesting. If you really want to know, what's going on, you've got to do it yourself. You've got to look at everything yourself, and we don't. We read headlines. There's a thing called I just forgot what it was called. Oh, damn it! It's when you think you know more than you know. People that have way too much confidence in their knowledge set, that they're like, oh, I'm brilliant. I can't remember what the term is. Somebody's gonna come up with it. Yeah, right. Listen, it's got to stop. Listen, my mother at the Applied Physics Laboratory, she worked with a trans. And this was 30 years ago, and it was no big deal. They were allowed to come over to the house for the Christmas party and everything. It was no big deal. Nobody gave a shit. They just had to say all of a sudden that people give a shit, and then they put the most loud and arrogant trans people on the internet to say, I'm busting out because I wasn't allowed to use bathrooms. No, they're roid raging, and then they're saying it's because, and they're profiting off of it. So you have this issue that they created, and they say, how can we profit as much as we can off of it? Until, so they had years to make millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. It's one of the biggest, Brad, we got Muslims here. You ain't got to get into that. I read the Bible, Quran translated, and the Torah translated, and find them to be good moral guides, often quite contradictory aspect of us. Yeah, right. So Jake, when I switched from atheist to agnostic to I do not know for sure. So that's why, I convinced myself when I was 13 that there's no God, because somebody told me that was older than me. So I was like, okay, cool. I don't have to learn that because they already learned it and they taught me that. And it's a shortcut. So I stuck with that for years. And then I switched into agnostic, and it took me just about 3 years to go from agnostic to theist. Enough with the alphabet soup, brother. Influencers are boosted a lot using that stuff, and it's sad. I'm 35 and I look younger than a 20-year-old bodybuilder. That crap. Yeah. Listen, right? They live fast, die young. City boy might be you from the past, reminding me to come back to atheism. Right? It might be. Yep. Dunning-Kruger. Yes, sir. Thank you, Jake. Yes, the Dunning-Kruger effect. Yes. Right. Dunning-Kruger. Atheism equals religion. The problem is atheists now have a house of worship. A lot of atheists want the tax breaks, so they have a doctrine now. The atheist doctrine. Atheist, not what is a doctrine? ATHE. Atheism, the overview. Atheism is defined as the belief that there's no God or supreme being in the contemporary context, 20th century, blah, 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 blah. It's often met with skepticism and negative perceptions. Many atheists, but anyway, this is 2024. If you guys are interested, you could read through it. But the atheism is the doctrine or belief that there is no God or gods or supreme being. So they have faith in that. This is their faith. That's what their faith is. And I understand that's what I had too. But it's just where the paradigm is shifting. The pronouns for quantum will always be plural. The race is long, but in the end, we are only running against ourselves. Go easy. And I want to help people be as healthy and happy as possible as they can be. I don't try to steer people towards anything. He came in, made a fool out of himself a couple of weeks ago. So he came back with a couple of anti-religion talking points that have been disestablished decades ago, but obviously you can still Google them. So and then he gets upset. And I understand. I tried to help him. I told him last week I'll help him. I told him he just needs to learn more about what he's talking about. And then he keeps saying so like rocks, literal rocks. Doesn't even know that that's all in question now. The speed of light's in question now. At least it being like there's this another theory saying that light, just like how light underwater slows down, and light in a vacuum is the fastest, 299 million meters per second. And they're talking about how light might slow down when going through dark matter, like it slows down going through water. So we may be wrong about the expanse of the universe, because if the light that we're looking at has dimmed because it's gone through dark matter and slowed the red shift and or blue shift, I mean, depending on, blue shift is coming away, red shift is going away, then that's all still wrong. And that's just last month, March of last year. Graham Hancock, Dunning-Kruger. Is it Dunning-Kruger? I don't think I really know who he is. Graham Hancock. Graham. It brought this up. All right, Graham Hancock. Graham. I think I seen him on. Definitely seen him on something. His glasses almost look like mine. I'm an atheist, but I don't believe in all the atheists out there. I don't believe all of the atheists out there. Most of them just want to fuck every random stranger. Right? Yeah. Right. Some people just want to hurt other people. They want to be able to do what they want to anybody, and it's a lot of atheists. I know, like I said, I was in the movie industry for 15 years. I know people that force themselves into atheism because they did bad shit, and they don't want to believe that they may possibly have to answer for it. And I understand that. Luckily, I didn't do any bad shit like that. A universe is a solid. What's up from my old gal? It's all theoretical anyway. Right. It's theoretical, and the science is too. And people don't understand that. And like when people say the Big Bang's the way the universe started, they don't know. It's a theory. It's one of the many theories of how the universe started. There's the steady state theory. There's the cyclical universe theory. There's the multiverse theory. The Big Bang is just the one that's the most generally has the most general consensus for. But it's all theory. It's all right, brother. I hate whoever gave the multiverse theory. Yeah, dude. And people don't know the difference between strong and weak evidences, high and low confidence evidences. Just because there's low confidence evidence that something happened, it's low confidence. Like it doesn't stand up. It's non-repeatable. They saw something once and they said, well, but over billions of years, it may have repeated. So now they're adding stories to it. They're saying it may have repeated. And this is the kind of stuff that pisses me off, because that becomes public. And like they just say there's evidence for, but they don't say the strength of the evidence. I was raised in the Nazarene church, preacher's son. We had a church in Folsom, California, decided that organized religion is money market. Right, yeah, this is my church right here. I'm not the head of the church. I'm the head of the church and the only, I don't try to preach to you guys or anything. I'm here to talk about anything and everything, science, music, money, whatever. I just think that given enough time to think about it, and we're mostly busy, we can't really spend a lot of time seeing how we've been lied to. We've got lives to live and stuff. Isn't Graham a kook that's been debunked? I'm like, kook. I don't know. I don't know. I've definitely seen him before. What is he famous for? What does he believe? He believes that we trace our civilization sprang up 1,000 years later. Mayans, ancient drift, lost civilization. I don't even know what the hell that means. Hold on. He believes traces of their civilization, whose civilization, can be cultures that sprang up thousands of years later. He suspects that the lost civilization must be like Atlantis. I don't know. Ancient. Oh. The universe is the natural environment around us that our existence is in. Like the actual. Well, let's see what science says. Let's see what Google says. Universe definition. All existing matter and space considered as whole. The universe is believed to be 10 billion light years in diameter. And so here's a big problem here. It says it's believed this, and it says it has been expanding since the creation about 13 billion years ago. It doesn't say it's believed to have, because we don't know. And they talk like it's the truth because it's easy to sell stuff like that. And if you can convince somebody of an ideology or a scientific theory, then they'll go to college for that and they'll spend thousands of dollars on those degrees and those books and that curriculum. I know. Either they did bad shit or they want to do bad shit. Right. And they can do it as long as they identify themselves as they identify religion, because their religion is somehow discipline. Right. I'll tell you, the greatest thing that happened to me was discipline. Like, I didn't go to no church. I didn't talk to any religious leader. I just said, all right, it's obvious to me now that we were chemically, it wasn't a splash on a beach that made something. I mean, I know too much about chemistry and how everything, like if you don't monitor your chemistry, warm it up, cool it down, dry it out, hydrate it, you can't get chemistry to move forward. So you can't have just mixed. I've got to the point that I do not believe that DNA got here somewhere. And I don't see anywhere how DNA could have happened. And the reason that they say that DNA was created is that, well, RNA started first, but they don't explain how RNA was discovered. And then they say that there's RNA bacteria that got bitten or got infected by a virus. And they say whatever, billions of years ago, but they don't have the virus and they don't have the bacteria to say before and after. So it's just make believe. They just said, and the way that they word it is it's like it's true. Oh, wow, that's what happened. No, they got no idea. Science is repeatable, and they can't repeat that. So they have no clue. It's just if they can convince enough people. I go to play GTA 6, Jake Paul 2028. Is he running? Oh, dude. Jake Paul 2028. Not call, Jake Paul. Please tell me. He has announced his intent. Oh, Summer Olympics, dude. It said Summer Olympics. I thought he's going to run for president. That would be freaking awesome. Big Bang is like seeing a plane in the sky is a shape and see if we lift. Fractal geometry tells us more than relativity. And listen, relativity's even in question now. Listen, there's a thing called the lithium problem, and there's not enough lithium by 300% in the universe, which means that the equations that we used when trying to figure out what was in the universe and how it was made and how much energy and whatnot, we had what we thought the amount of lithium that should be in the universe, and it's missing. That means all those calculations are off. And they're what they would call constants. They're used in everything. The universe is a huge hard drive, both space and mass information. Listen, I tell you what. There's a theory about that we're human antennas. Bro, don't do the bad people, evil atheists. I'm talking about the forceful ones, the ones like him, like City Boy or Veritas. Who are so adamant, like there better not be a God because it rocks, dude. Like, okay, why? What did you do that if there's a God you're upset about? Right? Like, it's like, geez, relativity works where you are. Relativity works where you are and could be. Do you guys pay attention to Jake Paul? No, I don't. I did like 10 years ago when he was on YouTube making the song Saturday or Friday or whatever it was called. Yeah, humans are kick ass. And like there's the big things, and I bring this up too, like Piltdown Man. Piltdown Man was a scam in 1904 or 1914, which was the missing link between chimps and humans. And so that created 40 years of college education and science teachers that said, no, evolution from chimps to humans did happen. We've got the proof. And then it wasn't until 2016 that those proofs came out of the science book. Okay, let's see. Piltdown Man. Paleoanthropological fraud, which bone fragments. Well, I'm sure there's a video. There's one with I know this is a.
He took the pieces of bone and stained them. He took the pieces of bone and stained them darker and filed down ape teeth to make them look worn. You see, some say the man wanted to become a famous scientist, so he buried the pieces next to some animal bones. And when he dug them back up, he claimed he had found the missing link between humans and apes. He was praised for his work, but decades later, scientists discovered the skull pieces were from a modern human,
one checked.
while the jaw was taken from an orangutan.
So no one checked. And science talks about repeatability and what do they call it? Double-blind studies and whatnot. I understand this can't be, but no one even checked. No one checked, and it wasn't until the 50s that someone tried to get DNA, and they drilled the tooth, and they found meat in the middle of the tooth, soft tissue. And then they checked, and they're like, this is human. So for 50 years, people believed this and wrote college, university curriculums and everything. Because here's another thing, okay? So junk DNA. So, okay, look, it says, and this is even old. This is no longer true. And this is the AI overview. It says roughly 98% of the human genome does not encode proteins. And then, but does say now, previously thought to be useless, but now known to be vital. Okay, but here's the thing. When they compared human and chimp DNA, they thought that most of it was junk. So they only checked the top 5%. And the top 5% of chimp and human DNA were 98% accurate. But now that they know that the rest isn't just scaffolding, they're like 17% difference. And there's no way, given the time frame of 8 billion years or 100 million years on Earth from the evolutionary standpoint, that we would get from chimpanzee to human. So that's fallen apart now too. But they're not blasting that from the mountaintops. Confused the human for 50 years. 8 o'clock, Senpei. Please search for the Narmada Man. Sure. Narmada Man. I got it. The rain in Minecraft is good. Dude, listen, I'm a big fan of Minecraft. I love that stuff. Squids and Occupy are really cool. These people, if alive, should be banned from Netflix. Agreed. Lifetime ban. Not like 10 years. Lifetime ban. Agreed. All their happiness must be taken away. Narmada Man. Extinct human fossil, likely a female. Well, they don't even know what men and women are, right? Okay, sorry.
इसीलिए नर्मदा मैन इतनी बड़ी ब्रेक थ्रू डिस्कवरी है वो हमारे लिए इतना बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंस इसलिए रखता है क्योंकि इट इज द ओनली फॉसिल दैट कंप्लीट्स इंडियाज पिक्चर प्री ह्यूमन एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ पीपल
डेटिंग क्या है नर्मदा ह्यूमन की
ये एक ऐसी डेटिंग है कि अब आप भी सोचोगे
भाई क्या है 6
लाख साल से 50 साल इसको हम नर्मदा मैन इसलिए बोलते हैं क्योंकि ये
BlackBerry phones were cool.
अच्छा तो इस वजह से ये प्रिजर्व हो गया क्योंकि ये नदी के अंदर से
एग्जैक्टली ये है नर्मदा स्कल हमारे लिए अच्छी बात है कि
sorry dude I can't I gotta find
So do you know the earliest human fossil found in India?
This is important for UPSC General Studies Paper 1. The earliest human fossil found in India is known as the Narmada human. It's over 7 lakh years old, guys. 7 lakh. So remember, we just have found a part of the skull, not the entire body. So the question is, where was it found? It was found in Madhya Pradesh. more specifically in Narmada Valley. Narmada Valley is the richest fossil sites in India. Here, archaeologists have even found the fossils of dinosaurs. So, who found it? It was found by this gentleman, Arun Sonakia, who is, by the way, a geologist. So, why this is important? So, unlike Africa, where prehistoric human skeletons are found in plenty, the Narmada human remains the only prehistoric ancient fossil in India. Awesome, isn't it?
So there's an interesting thing. There's silly how much evidence evolution is not right. It's silly. It's absolutely silly. But it makes so much money. And if you convince kids early on that God is like this, is like the Easter Bunny, both of them don't exist. But there's evidence. There's evidence that the story for freaking St. Nicholas comes from and whatnot, and one created the world and one comes down, right? So this is a big thing, and then kids believe it young, but we have a human yearning to find out what we came from, what made us. So now you put these kids, you plant this seed, and then kids want to go to college to learn and pay tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to learn how we came from a puddle. And even the puddle stuff ended up being wrong. The primordial soup, like that stuff. My father and mother worked for the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory, the Avery Propulsion Research Laboratory. So I was blessed as a child to hang out with the PhDs of the PhDs of rocket science, space exploration science, and then with that came biochemistry and how the human body works and how this is going to change and that's going to change. And these people are like, yeah, you can't say you're religious or you won't get funding. So you're like, why and then you look at things like this. Look at things like this. Nobel Prize by religion. So this is 60%, 65% are Christians, but 80% of chemistry, 78, right? So you have people that show their faith publicly and win all these prizes, and then you have people that can't show their faith publicly. Like, just look at, like, for instance, you can't get loans from secular governments. You can't get grants because they're like, oh, you're trying to find God, right? So it's amazing how they talk outside of work and at work. It's just different. 7 lakh is 7. I was going to ask about that. India is a subcontinent. It came from Africa, right? Mutations or differentiations due to the environment. Yeah, listen, and you can evolve now. You can take a bunch of steroids or just go to the gym and work out or get a job where you have to move concrete blocks and you will evolve. Small evolutionary. If you suck your thumb, your teeth end up shaped wrong. Like all these things, we know we can have these physical changes. But when you have kids, that doesn't stay. If you suck your thumb and you've got wackadoodle teeth, when you have a child, they revert back to what the DNA said to do. And it's like everything gets wackadoodle. There's a saying when it comes to writing scientific papers called "for the house." Let me find out what the term is. Duco, for the house scientific studies. There's a term. I can't remember what the term is, but it means for the benefit of the house, for the benefit of the institution that came up with this. So the evidences are something DeLuca. I can't remember the term. If it pops into my brain, I'll tell you. But it means that's what they do. How can we benefit off of this? How can we make as much money possible off of this evidence? Well, when we write the scientific paper, you don't write the negatives. You only write the positives. You don't say, well, in 35 times we did it and it failed. 4 times we did it and it was good. You'd say 400% of the times that we did it positively, we got it with the results we want. And it's just playing with the words. India didn't come from Africa. That was a large landmass. India and Africa either get brainwashed by the God or the preachers, the money. Right. So the thing is, you have to separate church as an industry and theology or deism overall. Like, I didn't learn this stuff by going to church and whatnot. I still don't go to church, like, because I don't trust. Well, a lot of the churches that I listen to online, they don't even say things correctly in the book that I got in front of me, right? So it's just like that seems like a bunch of a scam. India didn't. You mentioned that. He used to listen to Kent Hovind. I used to listen to Kent Hovind. He changed my mind from young to change my view about evolution. How are you doing, Carol? I'm trying to read university level audio engineering audio file. Well, I owned a recording studio. I worked in the music industry. I owned a analog recording studio. Well, analog, and at the end of it, we were doing analog and digital. I had a 16-track, 1-inch TAC reel-to-reel. The 16th track, I put in time code on, so then I could have a computer that I could put 254 tracks on, and the 255th was for time code to the 16th track. So I know a lot about it if you're interested. You came from the supercontinent. We're talking about everything: music, religion, science, vitamins. Yeah, right. But if you have kids, the looks maxing isn't going to pass through to your kids, you know? And this is one of the things. You physically change the shape of your skull, your butt, whatever, but that doesn't change the DNA. So if you've got a finch beak that's used to eating harder shells, it's going to get beaked up and buffed up in order to break through. That makes sense. But when it has a baby, it doesn't necessarily move. Or it might even a little get called epigenetics, and that gets even more crazy. It's a coping mechanism for autistic spectrum. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely devolving. What going on, Catra? Richard got to try and drag sometime. Been there, done that. Even worse, third world countries, how they take advantage of religion and take money from the poor. Right? Oh, yeah, all of them, dude. Listen, and I'm not gonna let that shit go either. Listen, it's all of them. I'm not gonna have freaking it's Christian, Muslim, Jewish, whatever, secular, all of it. It's all crap. You have people that set things up to steal from other ones. If evil exists and evil can act like it's righteous, that's who's doing it under the name of being righteous. It's absolute crap. But the problem is we've let too many people get away with stuff for too long. If somebody is Christian and doing something bad, they have to be called out by the Christians. If somebody is Muslim and they're doing something bad, or say they're Muslim and doing something bad, they should get called out by the Muslims. But for too long, it was, oh, you're being hateful, or you're being Islamophobic, or you're being whatever. That's a problem. If somebody's is obviously doing things that their religion does not allow, and they're trying to rule and take people over, they got to be called out. Absolutely. But too many people only know such a little bit about their religions and other people's religions that they're like, oh, well, that's just what they believe. All continents held up as one and another doesn't mean everything is right. At some point, you got to draw the line. Bro, tell me about it. Don't you think Thriller album is overly engineered to sonic perfection? Yes. No, that's a gem. I'm raging. We share a planet. That concept is so hard for many people, right? Yeah, we're a planet, right? What all the components needed by audiophiles? Listen, audiophile stuff is usually a joke. They want you to buy. It's marketing. They'll say, "Oh, it's oxygen-free copper. It makes the crisp high ends on an HDMI cable." HDMI is digital. Doesn't matter how much oxygen's in the copper. It's gonna give a digital signal. It's not gonna change the sound. But people are suggestible. They're easily influenced, so that they say, "Hey, if you plug this cable in this digital cable, and it'll make your music sound better," and you're like, "It does." No, it doesn't. Use an oscilloscope. You'll say evil is mixed with every group. Right. Absolutely. And you got to call them out. The problem is you have people that are, people, you can't just give an overall thing. If Jews are acting badly and they're not acting the way that the Jewish books say they should be acting, then they're acting badly. Same with Muslims, same with Christians, same with Catholics, same with Mormons, all of it. It's time we let evil grow too much in the world because people that don't know about other people's religion, they're just like, okay, they're just this religion. No. If they're trying to take advantage of you and trying to take power from you, not be nice to you when it's done. That's just got to be called out. Bible explains science from place to the universe relates to human condition, so simple the mind can understand it. And everything that we need to discover, to explore this entire universe, this planet, is on this planet. And if you look at there's something called dang it. There's I can't remember what it's called. I'll think of it in a second. But there's enough aluminum and there's not too much arsenic. But if there was too much arsenic, we would be dead. Too little arsenic, we would be dead. Common poisons, can't remember the term. But if you look at any other rocky mass in the universe, none of them have what we have here on Earth. And there's interesting things that even the secular and the religious scientists talk about how it's possible that a supernovas that were far enough away to embed us with what's required here, but not too close that it would have, when the supernovas happened, would have demolished us. And that shit's really cool. But then again, it's also, they can't replicate it. So it's all guesswork. The thing is, what framework for life gives you the best results? That's it. What framework? You can't prove God doesn't exist, but what framework gives you the best results? It makes it you happier and the people around you happier and healthier and able to enjoy what's here for us. I think people should be called out. Yes, right. I agree 1,000%, 1,000%. And groups should just be clear about what they do and they don't condone. Right. But then you see the people that are using other groups just to get popular, and they want what they want. They're evil, but they got to be excommunicated. But if you say somebody that's doing this, you're something phobic, transphobic. Awareness is a curse, because you know that you don't know a lot, and what you do know is already depressing. I'm going to puke. I thought the Satanic Verses was part of that. No. Okay, you're saying religion ideology can't just be bad at its core, like some group have more bad than others. Right. So here's the thing. When you look at the world's main holy books, they're not typically, especially not to destroy themselves. Like, most of them are to enjoy. At some point, some religions got hijacked by politics. And then that's why you have offshoots of the world's religions for political reasons. And the same thing happened with Islam and Christianity and Judaism. Absolutely. They should have been religions and stayed religions, and then politics should have stayed politics. But then they said, no, we're going to put our religion into politics. Even though the religions can guide you on how you should treat people when you're in politics, but people take over-adapted things. So you were a sound engineer. I was an engineer. I did it myself. It was my own studio. No, I built it. Yeah, no, I'm self-taught. Everything is, I know, is self-taught. I have my headphones on. Thought my dad was calling me, but it was hold on, calling for me, but he was talking to your dog. Christian values produce the high trust society. Right. So. In a Christian society, Christian values have a high trust society. The problem, if you look at the negative side of that, it's that it's too trusting to people that don't want to be part of that. So like the people that are secular, they're like, no, God don't exist, so screw your book and screw your thoughts and feelings and screw your morals and stuff. And then that wackadoodles things up. As the earth grows, we clump together. They try to, the governments try to say, no, we should abandon segregation and whatnot, but it wasn't forced originally. People grew in each area of the earth, and then once airplanes became a thing, we started to meld and mix up. Then something's got to be figured out. But the bad people gotta go. If people that are willing to 86 other people, they gotta go. It's just not, you can't be letting people out of jail after they kill somebody or rape somebody. Religion is very complex. The ideologies can be positive or negative or mixed. Right. And the thing is, if you don't know what you're talking about, people can say, no, it's in my holy book, so therefore, and you're not going to go look it up. So you're just going to believe it. And the thing is, when you have people that are the leaders in churches and whatnot, they'll lie to get money. Like, oh, if you give me 10% of all of your money, then you'll get into heaven. And that's a lie. Right? They just want to get rich. So, but most of the people in church don't want to read the books, so they go to have the preacher tell them. But the preacher's of the devil. Newest religion, the mask comedians. Oh God, that's freaking great! I've never heard that before. That's so freaking awesome. Hold on, let me copy that down. Oh, dude, that's so freaking beautiful. Hold on. I love it. Hold on. I never heard that before. I can't believe. All right, sorry. Okay, bam. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. And then when people decide to use religion as a reason to do batshit crazy stuff, they're a prophet or something. And that's a big problem too, right? That shit's already been written hundreds of years. And now people are trying to come and be like, well, I'm the newest one. Oh. The thing is, that's always happened. That's happened. The reason Islam and Christianity lasted as long as it did is because there was thousands of other. But they died, their movements, the people that tried to say that they were, that the people that tried to say that they were prophets, died. When they died, their movements died along with them. The Islam and Christianity lasted thousands of years, 1,600 and 2,000 years comparatively. So it's like what, but all the time you hear about people all the time saying that they're the new prophet, and then they get arrested for freaking wackadoodling little kids and stuff. To start, yes, religion is supposed to be a personal relationship with who you believe created you. Even if you don't know who they are, you try your best to figure that out. It shouldn't be like, hey everybody, I just changed religions, like and subscribe. And it's great forcing them to know now, and listening to other ideologies is great too. Yeah, you should learn everything that's here on this planet. Another issue with religion is when it becomes territorial as well. When you counted Christianity and Mormonism in one line, I know Mormonism is very recent American cult, right? Unlike some other rubbish religions who claim to be 1,000 years old. Right. Yeah. Today Islam is being this cause of the invaders going places, forcibly converting the invader of all to Islam. Okay, right. So the big problem with that is there's a huge problem in social Islam, and that is you've got Islam. The Quran says there's only one form, but there's at least two major forms, Sunni and Shia, and then you've got some that go off and said, well, let's add some more to it and then make it more political. And that, I'm not saying it happens with everybody, but just particularly because the wars are going on now, people break off and say, wow, well, I want to have the say so like Prophet Muhammad did. And then they start being idolized like the Prophet. Muslim babes have their mother's hips. I thought the cult of Scientology enslaving tourists. Yes, right. Man, that shit's crazy too. But listen, this is why that is. Because it's people that want to be famous in the movie industry. That's what Scientology typically is. You have not all the time, but you have people that have a lot of money that don't want to believe in God, so to speak. But a lot of famous people are Scientologists. So if you want to rub elbows with other famous or famous and rich people, you become a Scientologist to try to become a movie star, to try to get acting roles. Salafist and Wallaby. There you go. Right. There's a lot. What up, Jax? Jews for Jesus. Their goal is to get political control of a government which contains nuclear weapons so they can dominate the world. Them getting extra land is a bonus for playing the long game. And the thing is, the people that don't know anything at all about the world's religions are just saying, okay, that's their religion. That's what they believe. But it's bastardized. If you don't read the books, you have no idea. But I agree. Scientology can be called human zoo. I agree with that too. All right, let's watch something funny. I had something that I wanted to watch, and we went off. I got freaking 75 tabs open here. Oh, that was it. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I got all kind of wackadoo. Even some studies say ginkgo biloba extra. Oh, there's some. Hey. Okay. Sorry. Right. Snake handlers. No. Not car videos. No. Yeah, car videos. Just kidding. No, it's not car videos. I'll show you. This is people escaping death. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Sorry, brother. Dude, I love this stuff. No, I think this isn't car videos. Sorry, we did a lot of educational and theological stuff. We need some recess. We need to get We need to laugh a little, and then and then we'll do some gaming at 8 o'clock. Now we'll make this a little bigger. There we go. A little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. There we go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to today's special compilation. Life is always full of unpredictable surprises.
Did you see that?
Sometimes
Holy crap! Mr. Comment. If God is supreme, then he must be all powerful, all knowing, all lovable. But these three attributes never fit well together when we observe reality. Right. And I think that's our fault. Because God, whoever created, whatever created time and everything, we try to put human attributes onto the creator. And is that our fault? And also think about this: the people that got divine communication, so to speak, they're writing from a human's point of view. If their life was crap and then everything got better, they would say all loving. But as you go through, you also read that God is to be feared. So if you go against and hurt the people that he created or do whatnot, then annihilation can come. So there's a lot. Butthole Surfers, great video with the Pentecost. Great tune. What up, Sack? Have you ever seen the Tribe? It's a legitimate spaceship. The TR-3B, spaceship the military has. Besides the 3B laser bomb, you can watch a video of us using the Syria and blow up a fortress with a laser. So I was watching on okay, we'll get to that first. We'll do that first. Okay, that's it. And if you're all in there, orange or red, please look at the local weather tomorrow. In Baltimore, we're under tornado watch for the next 24 hours. That is 72 hours ago. No. It might be an AI over voice, but not the videos aren't there. It's a collaboration of what's it called? The links are in the description. All right, we'll see. There might be a skull complicated by the tower. Did you see that? I want to go back to that. But let's see what this is first. The Black Manta. Oh, that's 2009. Oh yeah. The Flying Triangle. Yeah. We should do a video on that rather than just jumping in between. I want to watch some funny stuff. Okay, sorry. But that's like, okay, let's look.
Life is always full
Dude, that was so crazy right there.
Welcome back to today's special compilation. Life is always full of unpredictable surprises, and sometimes the thin line between life and death happens in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, I'm getting stressed
special
already.
edition,
Please
The
watch this
Luckiest
series.
People Caught on Camera, Part 5. Let's get started.
Right, yeah. This is from 2009, Angel. We can look into more, but yeah, we should do a stream. I don't want to get off topic, so we should do a stream on the world's military and UFO subject as subjects. This should be great.
Man risked his life to save his burning house in Anu in China on February 15, 2026. Luckily, the fire was controlled in time and there were no injuries.
What's going on? Damn. Good night, brother. Oh, dude.
A van crashed directly into
How
a house
did
in
it get
Orem.
air like that? Jeez, what up, coming spider? Here, let me pull this up. That's funny. I love the internet. Yeah, that was great. Let me turn off fan.
A vehicle heavily laden with iron bars struck a car that was parked in the Piedenti
that would have
Market on
pierced
February
if
7th.
if they
The
would have
incident was narrowly
left-hand
averted,
drive,
causing no harm to the men present.
Shish kebab. Thunderstorms coming. Oh. Get out of the way. Oh, jeez. Always, thanks she wasn't on her phone.
A man narrowly escapes an accident in Turkey on November 3.
Why are people doing 200 miles an hour down those roads? You're trying to be the transporter? Yeah. No memes? Jeez, dude.
On October 12, 2025, in Iran, a car experienced a tire blowout, leading to a loss of control and...
Oh, no way. Oh, God. Sorry. Yeah, that's crazy stuff. This stuff lets you know how lucky some people are. Majority might be teenagers. Dad's car, right? Yeah, probably is. Hold on. What was that? Oh, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, especially at night. You can't see it tumbling down. You got no idea. Your life could change in a second. And that car got missed. Unbelievable. Tell me if I can change this down a little bit. Follow. Is that blood? No, okay.
October 15,
That's a strong
2005, in
fence.
Sao Paulo, Brazil, a van ran a red light and was struck by a train, subsequently dragged for a considerable distance.
Why are you so... You went on the wrong side of the road. You're so lucky it didn't roll that thing.
Fortunately, there were no casualties.
That's freaking so nuts, dude. Did it hit his head? He must have felt the air go through there. No way. Dude, that's an Iranian flag on the lorry that the car's cheap.
October 7th in Labio, Greece. A balcony in a residential area suddenly collapsed. Here it goes.
That's so freaking Yeah, you better run. Yeah, get in the doorway. What are you doing? What are they doing? They're just running around everywhere. Oh, that was lucky. That was really lucky. Yeah, it's good they ain't got out of there. The bamboo falls on its head. Yeah, you gotta watch out for that bamboo. The bamboom. You gotta be kidding me. You better run
October
away
16, 2025 in Brazil. A motorcyclist was hit by an electric cable when a truck ripped the wires as it passed. Luckily, he only suffered minor injuries.
That must have been very low, Wyatt. We ought to stay humble. Exactly. Yep, definitely. You better respect it. Uh-oh. That was freaking nice. Hold on 1 second.
Parents always show up at just the right time.
Nice freaking catch. chilling at work. Damn!
It's about time to check the hanging objects inside the house.
That's not a house. That's a restaurant. Yeah. It would have been crazy if he got up and ran.
Traveling on mountain roads always carries certain risks, especially during periods of rain and storms.
Yeah, it could have pushed you right off the cliff.
Landslide, swept away a car that day.
Why are you running? What's going on? Oh, good thing he ran. Dang. That must be a high mountain. One time tipped over the generator motor straps. Luckily, it threw me away. Might have strangled them, but I got saved. Yeah, you're lucky. Oh man, why did they? I guess. Oh yeah, like that. Just pushed it right over it off the cliff. This guy's like, let's reverse.
Since that mud is there because no heavy machinery across that.
Look at that. Nothing holding that stuff up.
Rescued in time and suffered only minor scratches.
The car was in the water.
Look at
Car was
that.
in the water.
Oh, he was in it? Mudslides. What are the chances you escape something like that, such a small margin? Yeah, that's why I like watching stuff like this. It's amazing. It's amazing to see. You see some people that are so oblivious, they have no idea what's going on around them. And you have some people that are super aware of what's going on. And that's why watching your surroundings, watching your environment, it's definitely a humbling ritual, right? When you yes, God bless us all. Like, look at that. Perfect timing. He's really going 1 mile an hour slower. He'd be right in that. Look at these freaking cliff faces. Oh, jeez. That would just crushed you. Better go. Earthquake. Yeah, humbling ritual is exactly right. Right where he was sitting, glass fell. Yeah, she's going for her clothes on the line. Oh, she slipped. That was like somebody's roof. Jeez, that sheet metal flying around decapitates somebody. Teenagers. Oh! Nice. Lava rapido. Oh no, oh no. Nice save. Yep. Always put it in park. Smash. You gotta be kidding me. This is why windstorms are super dangerous. Again, there's a super high chance of severe winds tomorrow in the eastern U.S. Please check God's weather. Tornadoes are not the only type of rain. Nope. Yeah. She probably didn't even realize it was happening. She didn't even realize it was happening. She's like, is this for real?
That's
No way. Jeez, dude, what? Hold on, what? Watch these people. That goes between them. That's crazy. Military police, there's a case where a 50-kilo iron rod fell from 7th floor and did perpendicular on a car. Damn. Yeah. I guess everybody was okay. Uh-oh. Move out of the way. He ran into the store. That's so crazy. That was a person. Did you see that? That was a person on a motorized scooter, like a disability scooter, going the wrong way down the highway. No lights. Right there. Look at that. That's a person pushing a stroller. Look at this. Hold on. Let me zoom in. That's a person pushing a stroller right there. That's a baby in a stroller. That's crazy. Hail damage, a threat, wind damage, cause power outage, trees falling, flood, and dangers. Pay attention tomorrow, y'all. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. That's a woman pushing her child the wrong way down the middle of the road. Yeah, right. Like, what the hell is she thinking? Is she thinking she wants to get rid of herself and the baby? Is she not thinking? Is she drunk? Is she on some sort of drugs? Is she freaking... Yes, suicidal. That's a highway. That's like 120 kilometers an hour, 60 miles an hour, at least. But imagine if you were on your phone and all of a sudden there's a baby rolling across your windshield. Spartacus, brother, it seems paranormal. Who knows what the next car is going to do? Damn, that's nuts. Oh! The car saw it. The car saw it. Did you see it? It started braking on its own. Watch the what you calls come on. Nuke Stop 5. No. What's going on, Sparty? It's awesome. Richard, pay attention tonight, Atlanta. Yeah, I know. We already prepared everything here. Thank you, Godro. Watch this. Watch the car. It slows it down automatically, and you can see the flashers come on. Right here. You can't even see the person. Dude was on his phone. You can still see the phone light shining on his chest. He's still walking down the freaking middle of the road. That's so crazy. Dang it. Oh, right between the people. Somebody's gonna walk right out. Kids are so stupid. My pet peeve is people who cross the road when they have all the time. Yes, me too. Me too. Just think about it. If you were looking down at your phone for 2 seconds just to like glance, boom, that kid would have been Going to meet his maker. Well, there's a freaking camel jump down there. You gotta watch out for the camels.
The morning of October 15, 2025, a gas cylinder explosion occurred in
Gas
Yataparat.
cylinder.
In the incident,
Excellent
2
read.
individuals
Everyone
sustained
thumbs
burns
up.
And 6 houses.
Stupid, ungrateful camel. Oh no. Oh no. Phone charger. Her phone battery. Our phone charger. You get the kid out of there. She should have thrown a pillow over it or something.
Pressure cookers are always dangerous if used carelessly.
Pressure cooker? Jeez.
What was that? For the love of God. What was it?
For the love.
With someone who collapsed.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I know.
That was it.
4.
We have got to the point
Yeah.
where literally anybody
Yeah,
can
it's it drives me crazy. You got to see the highway photographers posing on the highway. Food's right, yeah, food's done. Ooh, what was that? That's another one. The kid's done to get.
4.
She pulled the pan out of the ceiling. You're lucky nobody was in there. Honey, dinner's ready. Scrape it off the ceiling. Why would you do that? I thought you were supposed to open it. He's still getting some food. Yeah, pressure cookers. What was that? Fireworks? What? Oh, the pressure cooker again? Hold on, I missed it. They threw a lighter in the fire, I bet you. I remember when we were kids. Yeah, dude. So I have a pressure cooker, but it's got 2 safety valves on it. One is a release, and one is just a weight that lays on top of it. It's a heavy weight, and when the pressure gets too high, the weight just jumps. It goes. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. When we used to have bonfires as the kids, frozen turkey bobs are nuts too. In hot oil in the deep frying. Yeah, dude. There was this kid, a friend of mine, he would take like Lysol spray or hairspray and he would bring one and throw it in the fire, and then it would heat up until it blew the end off and it would shoot out, but you wouldn't know what direction it would shoot out. It might just go shh, and never hit any of us, but he did it like 3 times until we stopped hanging out with him. Very efficient. Yes, right. Yeah, they could efficiently end your life too. But no, I use one. What was that? Oh no, he's overfilling the tire. Yeah, and the whistle.
On September 18, 2025, in Porto, Brazil, a mechanic was thrown into the air by a tire explosion. Luckily, he was not injured.
Bull crap. He smacked his head on the ground. He's freaking hurting. He wasn't paying attention. Or he got the wrong pressure on there. Damn, it knocked his feet out from under him.
October 4 in Vietnam, a gas explosion occurred and the motorcycle was held in place by the electrical cable system.
Yeah, dude. Oh! You're so lucky. So lucky. This is why people don't know. Oh no, okay. People have no idea how tight they're supposed to put their lug nuts on. They're just like, okay, tight enough. And then their tire goes rolling off. Oh no. Nice freaking save. Car.
Without security cameras, it would be very difficult to believe that she was innocent.
What did you do?
Oh, the smile on my face.
Truck nuts. LP gas cylinders. Yep. They need safety releases on them too.
I'm sorry.
Oh, now it's getting worse. You better get inside. All that stuff flying around. Did you ever see an improperly installed Jesus ring blow off a truck and an army? Oh yes, yes, dude. So most people I've never been in the military, but I've worked in the movie industry a lot, around a lot of military equipment, and most people don't even know what that is. The way that you put very, very high, not high use. What are they called? Heavy duty tires on. Use a ring they call the Jesus ring, because if it pops off, you're going to meet Jesus. Yeah, let's see if we can. What did it say? Jesus ring popping off. All right, let me see. Not dire, tire.
This month, the madness begins, and we're swishing $25 into your account.
There's a cage. So if the tire and the rim and the ring separates, they have like 30 nuts or bolts around the tire, and if that lets loose, that's what the cage is for. And look what it does to the cage. That's why. And it'll shoot that you can see the hub. It's called a split hub. 800-pound tires. 150 psi. Yeah, dude, if that hits you, you're done. It was embedded itself in a cylinder block 20 feet away. I mean, look at what he did to this capture cage. Dude, look at that. You can see. So they don't use traditional tire beads. I mean, there are beads on the tire, but the way that mounts to the rim is different. Broken bones, severed limbs, or even death. Yeah, that's some serious stuff right there. That's some serious stuff. And think about the armored personnel carriers that use tires instead of treads. Like, they have to have these tires. They're very wide so that they can stay on top of sand for the most part. Narrow tires will sink in, and that's a lot of pressure. 150 psi. Yeah, 20 foot all the way out. Oh shit, what's up? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. 150 PSI, right? For a lot for a tire, yeah. Oh, dude, you better run. Why did they do that manually?
On October 20, 2025, in Bistan, Turkey, a building under demolition got out of control. No casualties were reported.
Elbistan, Turkey. That stuff's so nuts. Right in front of him. 3 inches in front of that guy's legs. It sounded like an artillery simulator. Went off. I almost pooped my britches. Dude, I'd have been in the laundry with you. What are you thinking, dude? What are you thinking, Hurley? It's gonna snap.
The distance between it and the hospital is probably only a few centimeters.
Dude, his toes, millimeters. Millimeters. He's gonna dig right through it. He's gonna walk off. No! Nice. Did you see he caught himself? Did you see him grab the edge of that? I don't know if it was in shot. Here, let me show you this. Watch him grab. Sorry. Watch this. Watch this. Watch. He throws the pallet off, and look what grabs his leg. Hold on. I'll zoom in. Hold on. Watch what grabs his leg. What? That's what grabs his leg. Ah, dang it. He's so lucky he got his hands on that edge. So lucky, or he would have went head over. He's walking around down there. He's fine. Yeah, flip-flops, best for construction. Is that a manhole cover? Hold on, let's go back to this. Hold on. Oh no, it's a concrete saw. He must have got away from him. Oh, it didn't bend the blade? That's crazy. Oh no. Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
This situation clearly demonstrates the
No
driver's
way,
experience.
Dude. Look at that. Look at that. He missed him. So that's them securing the loose rocks so that there won't be a rock slide or a mud slide. And they're installing that. Okay, but where are the vending machine accidents? I'm sure there'll probably be one. They're pretty common. Dude, he's so lucky. You gonna go over there and pick it up? Yeah, that'd be deadly. Better stay in there. That was an ambulance. You better get behind there, girl. Yeah, she's so happy. Yeah. That was an old woman just walking down the street. Oh my God.
Don't lose sight of the little ones.
I found a penny. I almost got my skull crushed. Dude, she sat there and oh, she was looking at her computer screen. Drunk. She's on the wrong side of the road. Are they just driving around?
The driver just experienced a real scare.
There's cameras everywhere. It's got to clean those bridges. Oh, no.
In New Zealand, on the Coria Road, a car was traveling at a high speed on September 25th and narrowly avoided hitting a pedestrian.
Jeez. Run.
Here comes the vehicle at high speed.
That's freaking
The tree
so
planting
When I was
activity will
security
add
guard at
3
Einstein
unwitting
Hospital,
volunteers.
we had a guy topple a vending
Thank
machine
you,
on
Lord.
himself.
Thank
Broken
you,
pelvis,
Lord.
2 ribs, a lacerated spleen, 4 hours
my
of
God.
surgery.
Okay, let's
Plus,
go.
we
Let's
had
see
to
the vehicle.
arrest
Let's
him.
see
Jeez.
What a shame.
Trying to get a 75-cent bag of peanuts out of it, probably. Oh! What was his blood alcohol level? That looked out of proportion. What did the
Maybe he went back and said exactly one sentence. You're still very young.
Some people have no patience. Is it at the pole? Oh, made it. Wow. What's he doing? A 50-cent candy bar. Oh, the tree one looked out of proportion. What are people doing? Oh my
Hope
god!
she doesn't waste her luck like
Oh
that
my
again.
God, look at this guy's head. Dude, he's so lucky he was wearing a helmet. His head hit the tire. If he wasn't wearing a helmet, his head would have popped.
Hope she doesn't waste her luck like that again.
Did you see that? Her helmet bounced off the tires.
Hope she doesn't waste her luck like that again.
That's freaking great. 1986. I was 9 years old. Yeah, I was about to say it had to be in the 80s or 90s. They ain't no candy bars that cheap anymore. $1986, the good old days. Oh, this over here. Oh, it's in reverse and that guy's right behind him. You better get out of the way, dude. You better get out of the way. I was at Haploid in 1986.
The event happened in Polotsk, Belarus on October 25th.
Jeez, dude. People are freaking nuts. Where's my B12 at? Here it is.
On October 30th, 2025, in Turkey, two children on bicycles narrowly avoided death when a car that ran a red light charged towards them.
Jeez, dude. It's so ridiculous. People were stupid. It's so ridiculous. People were stupid. Are stupid. Will probably continue to be stupid. Although it's almost like you didn't die. Brother, listen. It's so odd. And there. I forgot what the theory was again. So many people know that they have access to the world's knowledge, so they think that just because they have access to it, that they can know it. So they act like they do. And they're so misguided. They're so misguided. And it's absolutely crazy. How the heck are we surviving? I guess it's a good thing I have the huge population after watching this. Right. Think about all these people that, and think about the people that aren't here. Like, these are the people that made it. How many videos of there are people that haven't? He didn't even hit the motorcycle. Wow. Yeah. Dunning-Kruger. That's what.
A woman on a motorcycle was lucky not to be injured. However,
It's called Dunning-Kruger. That's what it is.
It will surely make her reconsider riding a motorcycle for a while.
He stayed on his feet. Did you see that? That was incredible. Hold on. Oh! There's
he did
no
a
way.
timely somersault. And
Oh,
so
yep,
most of
he's
the
up.
impact
Wow,
was avoided.
wow. I thought he was done. Let me go back to this woman. Look at this guy. Watch him slide and stay with the bike the whole time. Look at this. Look, he's running the whole way. He never fell. That's freaking balance. And then this chick here, right here, boom.
He did a timely somersault, and so most of the
And just
impact
got up,
was
no
avoided.
helmet, nothing. No helmet. He's wearing shorts, short sleeves, and no shoes, and no, I'm sorry, sandals. He's rubbing his feet, head on collision.
He did a timely somersault, and so most of the impact was avoided.
Wow.
Dude, look at, oh, no shoes. No shoes. Sorry, no shoes. No, dude, no. I don't see any shoes. Maybe they flew off. But he definitely flip-flopped. Just oblivious. No idea what's going on around him. And she just keeps on going. Almost Rick Gack set that guy off a cliff. Running the red light. Waiting to see a dead body out front of it, probably.
Being in the blind spot of a large vehicle
Look at this.
is
Not
never
even
a safe
looking. Not
option.
even looking. She just would have sat there and yelled until she died. Two wheels. Yes, two. So my grandmother, what was her saying? If it has two wheels or two something, it's bad for you. I can't remember what it was. Listen to this woman scream and just wait for herself to get crushed. Her child has to pull her out of the way. After the crash, is it common to pass out after some second? It depends. It depends. Sometimes some people do. Some people faint. It's very interesting. We got a lot of data. We got people that have dash cams that face forward and face themselves, and you'll see them like and they'll wake back up like they're so frightened that they just pass out. It's crazy stuff to see. But yeah, what up, Georgie? But yeah, some people. So there's three things. There's fight, flight, and fright. So you either flee, you fight, or you freeze. And we've heard of fight or flight a lot, but there's a third one called fright or freeze. And it's like she was just screaming, waiting for it to be over. And her son luckily was flight and then fight. He ran and then he fought for his mother's life by running back into it. Oh, dude, he almost slid right under those tires. There it goes. Oh, you better keep. What are you doing staying still, dude? You better roll. What are you doing?
Situation will surely attract the attention of insurance companies.
Dude, I can't. I would have floored it. Oh, I guess either way could have been bad. Dude, it doesn't look like there's any screw holes or anything in that. Like, what was holding it down? Was it just gravity? Why does it blow off so easy? Like, I don't see any fasteners. Oh, shit. Dude, that bounced off his face. Is he still asleep?
Sleep won out over fear in him.
No way, he slept through it. Hold on, we gotta watch that again. Oh no, he fainted. He fainted.
Sleep
yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
he's unconscious. That scared him to sleep. Oh, it's storm outside. They were trying to hold the door
On
shut.
September 16th in Guaymallén, Argentina.
Who would put a big hole in the middle of the road like that? No way. What? No railing or nothing? Yeah, yes, really, yeah. That's crazy. You talk about this here or the other one? This is crazy too. Dude just was walking and walked into a pit. So my cousin died this way. I'll tell you about it in a second. So my cousin was walking at night at Patapsco State Park in Maryland, and he was walking through the trails on his cell phone, and it was at night, and he just walked off of a cliff. Boom, hit the rocks below. Walked right off of a cliff. Most people get heat bricks on that, and bricks slide away by the wind. Oh, no way. Yeah, this is crazy. Like, what? He's probably looking at his phone.
In Guaymallén, Argentina.
Well, he doesn't have his phone in his hand. Oh, he's looking for cars. He's looking that way. I wonder how deep that is. What is it? Like, what is it for? Oh, whoa, oh, no, he popped out over there. Whoa, did you see that? That's him. That's him. He popped out over here.
On September 16th in Guaymallén, Argentina.
No, he pops out over there. You'll see in a second. Pops out, and then he walks out over this side here. Like, what the hell? What did he land on? He's okay. Now he wants to see what he did. He's like, how the hell did I fall into there? Like, what just happened? Subway? Should have dropped it. Oh, there goes the ground. Unreinforced concrete. You better run. Portal, right? Right. Like the video game.
The night of November 4th in Brasilia, a near-energy electrical substation suffered a short circuit, creating a phenomenon similar to fireworks. Accidental.
Fireworks. He says, man, I can jam. Oh, this is what we were watching earlier from a different camera angle?
Almost ended in an accident.
Or does that just happen a lot? Oh no, he's filling fire extinguishers, or scuba tanks. Without fire extinguishers, yeah, fire extinguisher pop. Me? I've dated many. I've dated many.
Luckily, the boy didn't end up with a new curly hairstyle.
Alright, hold on one second.
Today's compilation is over. I hope to welcome you in the next videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
Alright. I'm gonna have dinner. I'll be back in an hour. We'll do some. Let's see if anybody's around. We'll do some Minecraft, whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna be back in about an hour. Appreciate y'all being here. I'll see y'all back in a little bit. Bye bye.